Can you hear me? All of you in the back, try to make your way this way, a little bit closer to the field. We're going to get started here a few minutes early. I'm Greg Schmidt. I'm the president of Piedmont. I just wanted to quickly, and before lots of rain comes,
I'm not being selfish. I'm just trying to cover the
say thank you to all the players and parents for being flexible today. There's a lot that goes into planning an event like this, and as you can imagine, factoring in weather is one of those things that we have no control over. So thank you for being flexible. Hopefully nobody will get soaked. I also want to thank our sponsors. You'll see when we get on the other side after the parade, you'll see sponsorship signs all over the fields. This league is quite lucky and fortunate to have as many local sponsors as we have. A lot of you are coaches or parents in the league, so thank you to the sponsors. I want to acknowledge that we've got a lot of our board members here today. I've seen Adam Neuwirth here is our vice president. Steph Moore is our commissioner for softball. Lori Verity is our vice president of softball. Tony Duty is our baseball vice president. I saw Janine Solomon and Ed Doyle are here. Aaron Doyle is Bambino commissioner. Mike Principe is the American League commissioner. If I'm missing some, sorry. But lots of board members here who put in a lot of time and effort to make an event like today possible. Last thing, the committee that put this thing together, and hours of planning that goes into putting together opening day, and obviously pivoting and changing course when we have to with things. Adam Neuwirth, Steph Moore, Jamie Strano, Corey Nicholson, Ed Doyle, Aaron Doyle, and their fearless leader of the team that put in tons and tons of time to make opening day possible, Vince Strano, who's our director of facilities. Yeah, please give that group of 7 a big round of applause. They have been working nonstop on this for over a month, and we really appreciate all their effort to make opening day possible. So we also have I haven't seen Matt Meyer yet, our county executive. He's on his way. Representative Mike Smith is here. Mike is also a coach. So thank you to everybody, all the coaches who dedicate their time to Piedmont. We wouldn't be a league without all of your support. And again, thank you to everyone for coming out. I'm going to hand the mic over now to Adam and Steph to get things rolling.
All right, it goes without saying, thank you so much to everybody. We tried handling the weather, but there's just so much we could do. But this couldn't be possible without all of you guys. So give yourselves a quick round of applause. We have the most amazing families, players, volunteers, and organization in Delaware. So we should all be very proud. So without further ado, here's Steph Moore.
Good morning, everybody. I guess afternoon now. We're going to start out with announcing our 14U softball teams. First up, we have Team McKee. That's coached by Scarpato. And members of the team is Kendall Delaney, Mia Devaney, Eliza May Freeman, Amanda Hook, Delaney Loyal, Olivia McKee, Madison Moser, Taylor Phelps, Celeste Scarpato, and Addison Verdi. Next, we have our other 14U team that's walking out, coached by Lori Verity and myself. We have Cameron Beston, Kara Cucuzzo, Vanessa Espinal, Maya Frumple, Chase Hop, Alani Klein, Mackenzie Lewicki, Sophia McKee, Alyssa Moore, Madeline Moore, Morgan Murphy, Abigail Putzalaz, and Haley Wilson.
National Leagues, please give your list to Ed Doyle and get ready to come on out.
Or do you want to make pizza?
Don't be shy. All right, you guys, let us meet our National League baseball players. Our first team are the Braves, sponsored by Harmony Construction. Head coach Tony Duty, assistant coaches Kevin McLafferty and William Sayani, and our players, David Bacchus, Connor Caro, Dylan Caro, Edward Catterson, Cole Creasy, Joseph Hurst, Braden Martin, come on, Win, Mason Mattia, William McLafferty, Brody Sayani, and Joseph Zhang.
I know you probably tried it, Matt, but I know it's kind of tough.
Our next team, the Giants, sponsored by Newark Urgent Care. Head coach Brian Chapman, assistant coaches Mike Mundy and Jack Hurwitz, and our players, Julian Bertolo, Griffin Chapman, Nicholas Klein, Gavin Finney, Max Horowitz, Miles Horowitz, Barry Leao, Samuel Lader, Caden Mundy, Mason Protak, and Cole Yeldell. Our next team are, I guess they're the Cardinals.
Wow, good job, Freddie.
Who do we have now? I swear we practiced this. We've got our Dodgers, sponsored by Strano and Feely Family Funeral Home, our head coach, Brandon Bouchon, and our assistant coaches, Ryan Ewing and Louis Costanzo. Your players are James Brandt, Sheldon Bouchon, Zachary Costanzo, Reed Ewing, Elliot Gallo, Jack Hearn, Nicholas Lafferty, Connor Luby, Joseph Romer, Vince Strano III, and Ethan Trincia. Our next team are the Cubs, sponsored by Del Colo and Salvatore, team of Patterson Schwartz Real Estate, with our head coaches Mike Capriglione and our assistant coach Stephen Langsader. Our players, Anthony Camarano, Gabe Capriglione, Aiden Dassel, Jacob Delancey, Thomas Emig,
I'll hold it for a little while.
Desmond Langsader, Anderson McDermott, Rocky Salvatore, Charles Stewart, Landon Thomas, and Ethan Welling.
I'll try again. Let's see if it works. I'll share it.
Our next team, a team close to my heart, because I'm one of the coaches. The Phillies, sponsored by The Concrete Company, with your head coach, Adam Newer, your assistant coaches, Ryan Foreman and Brian Faulkner, and our players, Sean Adams, Griffin Brown, Anthony Casale, Dan Dowdy, Kieran Faulkner, Cohen Foreman, Nick Gerasi, Dayton Kinderman, Zach Neuwirth, Sanal Wirtonga, and Cole Williams. And our final National League team, the Marlins, sponsored by Price Auto Group. Our head coach, John Hughes, Assistant coaches Joseph Krajewski and Trip Wagner. And your players, James Asloff, Zach Antoine, Cameron Bosford, Ryan Dietz, Jonathan Garber, Brady Hughes, Jude Krajewski, Peter Quinn, Rocco Schmidt, Sean Stella, and Josh Wagner. Let's hear it for the National League.
All right, up next is 12U softball. First up, Team Greenlee. Where's Team Greenlee at? All right, Team Greenlee. Head coach Mike Greenlee. Assistant coach Tony Evans. And players, Hayden Bennett, Adriana Cassini, Bailey Evans, Courtney Evans, Lily Fallon, Juliana Garofalo, Addison Greenlee, Sarah Husnatter, Maria Meadow, Sophia Tassone, Julia Wilson, and Lily Woner.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Fred! Here, put this on your lap. Let me see the bugs.
All right, up next, 12U Manzolino.
Feed the spider. Ew, look at that.
Head coach Mathis Manzanleo. Assistant coach Jason Rolfe. Players Madeline Barnes, Brooklyn Basher, Riley Beal, Peyton Conroy, Alexis Dronati.
That's a scorpion. Oh, that's a scorpion? Yeah, good job. I think that one's a moth. The butterfly? I don't know. Maybe you left it at home. Didn't? Maybe mommy left it at home. Ready? Look, it's Grandma and Grandpa. See Grandpa? Wanna go give him a hug? Wanna go give him a hug? No.
All right, we're back on. We have Ava McGuire, Elenia Manzaleo, Jaden McGinnis, Talia Montalese, Macy Rolfe, Sophia Schubert, and Helena Steffi.
He can't hear you. What'd you say? Oh, his phone don't work either, buddy. There's no water.
And they're sponsored by BSN
I
Sports.
know. I'll try to get it to work. What? Once in a while.
Up next, Team Maluski. All right, Team Maluski.
Anybody want a hash brown?
Looks like I got 5G. Does he want to use mine?
Let me see if I have one. This is a breakfast biscuit.
Is that Team? All right, Team Maluski. Head coach Steve Maluski. Assistant coach George Petrovich. Assistant coach Dean Winter. And the players: Caitlin Birch, Maria Burrows, Danica Cintron, Eileen Conway, Ava George, Giada Hogate, Catherine Holly, Blake Maluski, Ella Mae Petrovich, Zoe Quinn, Scarlett Vanneman, and Denicia Winter.
Just stay with Jack, right? She's gonna be here, okay? And then your dad's gonna come too.
I have waterproof leggings on, so I think tell.
I know, buddy. You want me to hold you?
Hey, Fred.
What?
Want a little hash brown?
All right, up next, 12U Team McCarran.
calling the American League. American League, please go up to Ed Doyle so we can get your rosters. And once again, it goes without saying, thank you so much for putting up with all of this. We're experiencing some technical issues. Maybe we should have practiced once or twice.
Hey Fred, what do you like on Disney?
All right, so we'll get this cooking. We've got our American League teams. Our first team lining up, the White Sox, sponsored by Delaware Orthopedic Specialists.
You want Grandma
Your
hold
coaches
you?
are Nick Corsetti and Ian Farrell. And your players are Caleb DeFlavis, Maximus Farrell, Luca Lanceloti, Theodosius Leapis, Eli Mara, Nicholas Marshall,
Come on, have a
Dayton
Dunkin'
Mouncher,
Donut.
John O'Connor, Angelo Papa,
Well, we
Nicholas
brought them.
Corsetti,
Welcome.
Evan Risk, and Noah Zook.
So going
Our second American League team, we've got the Yankees, sponsored by Diver Chevrolet. Head coach Mike Principe, nailed it, Mike, and assistant coach Christopher Rispoli. Your players, Lincoln Barlow, John Guzzo, Maverick Jubb, Luke Lenz, Adam Mishi, Andrew Michaels, Matthew Principe, Carmine Rispoli, Luke Scarpato, Joey Shute, Ryder Sims, Connor Testa,
Dad, I can't believe you're
and
doing that.
Parker
I want to-
Verity.
They were not very good. Yeah, there you go.
We've got another one. We've got the Mariners, sponsored by Prima's Pizza, with our head coach, Steven Selk. Your players, I'm going to read them all anyway. The players, Scott Grant, Declan Brown,
Hey, thank you.
Patrick Burke, Henry
Wow,
Catterson,
Thank you.
Benjamin Cooney,
Good boy.
Jack Grotti, Patrick Liberato, Isaac Luvano, Luke Maddox, Jacob McDermott, Everett Miller, and Jackson Selk. Up next, we've got our Orioles with the really cool hats, sponsored by Evergreen Hardscaping. Head coach Eric Alsop and assistant coaches Josh Hall and Dave Delancey. And your players, Reese Aslov, Bo Davis, Cody Delancey,
No thanks.
Matthew Dorno, Jackson Hall, Christian Haskins, Joseph Hudson, Henry Lance, Andrew Moore, Frank Patalas, Aiden Vi, and Callahan Warner. Lining up now, we've got our Royals, sponsored by Rollin Orthodontics. Head coach Don Francisco, assistant coach David Hall, and your players, Nicholas Chirandolo, Zachary Ford, Vincent Francisco, Aaron Hall, Julian Jacobus, Clementine Joffret, Asa Johnson, Julian Kasperzak, Landon Koss, Jackson Lawler, Ryder Reese, and Leo Ugolini. And we've got our Astros, sponsored by Score Seed. Head coach Christopher Sundin and assistant coach Kevin Fallon. We've got Colby DeMarco, Joseph DeMichelle, Joshua Fallon, Dylan Gazda, Zachary Gribner, Cooper Kluska, Reed Lichtenberger, Charlie Sears, Nolan Sundin,
There you go.
Jonathan Thomas, Jonah Vole, and Ben Walker.
Woo!
They just keep on coming, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the raise sponsored by the Concrete Company.
Find her way, honey.
Head coach Corey Nicholson, assistant coach Sean Carpenter, and John Migosia. Your players, Clark
It's
Antoine,
not raining, baby. Put it down.
Michael Carpenter, Nolan Gerasi, Ryan Goots Myrtle, Samuel Little, John Mingoia, Liam Moore, Logan Nicholson, Christian Panico, Dino Shepard, Benjamin Thomas, and Connor Tibbetts. I know we can find more American League players out there. We've got the Rangers, sponsored by Chick-fil-A Christiana. Head coach Brian Faulkner. Assistant coaches Vince Strano II and Brian Cunningham. And your players, Sean Cunningham, Nicholas DeCesar, Declan Faulkner,
Daddy and Charlie right over there.
Gage Harrison, Connor Lee, Julian Majewski, Luke Olek, Samith Partnake, Angela Rogers, Nolan Sickles, Giovanni Strano, and Silas Trader. If anybody else wants to join the American League, speak now. All right. That is your American League baseball player.
Alright, up next we have 10U softball. We're going to start off with Team Carhart, which is sponsored by Kirkwood Auto Center, head coach Jeff Carhart, and the players, Aubrey Carhart, Madeline Carhart, Kate Perrone, Alexis Davis, Mia DiCarlo, Avery Foy, Cadence Jackson, Sophie Jenkins, Brindley Marks, Madison McGinnis, Piper Meadows, and Finley Woodruff. And next up for 10U softball is Team Curtis, who is sponsored by the Ortner Group. Head coach Steve Curtis. Players are Everly Bouchard, Kylie Connor, Ella Curtis, Grace DeCare, Julianne Holvik, Kylie Landis, Annalie
Right over
Manzolo,
there, see the orange shirt?
Sophia Miller, Riley Taylor, Molly Whitmarsh, and Margaret Wilmot. And up next for 10U is Team Lang Thomas, sponsored by the Lang Cares Foundation. Jeff Lang, head coach, Jason Thomas, assistant coach. And the players, Aubrey Biddle, Juliana Degliobisi, Annabelle Frenzel, Gianna Howard, Molly Lang, McKenna LaRue, Alexis Polite, Olivia Rhodes, Callie Thomas, Jenna Thomas, Adeline Zicola, and Isabella Zicola. And last but not least, our 10U Yoronga. Head coach is Ed Yoronga, assistant coach Nicole Ewing. They're sponsored by Prima's Pizza. And the players are Kiernan Adams, Kaya Bastinelli, Amelia Buckner, Kristen Cuello, Caroline Ewing, Fiona Forrester, Sophia Keith, Bella Leafitt, Quinn Moore, Maria Muschek, Lady Joe Ozick, and Taylor Yoronga. And that's it for 10U softball.
All right, so we're all one big Piedmont family here. Can the teams start compressing, getting to know one another, stand closer to each other? We have a couple more teams to announce, a couple more leagues. Speaking of which, let's move on to our farm. Our first team for Farm 8U is the Athletics, sponsored by J.W. Toll Contracting Services, LLC. Your head coach is Greg Schmidt, and our assistant coaches are Jim Beston and Bill Jeffy. We've got Brandon Batten, Smith Batten, Trevor Beston, Nathan Brown, Charlie Caterson, Thomas Falla, Justin Jackson, William Jeffy, Jack Gines, Connor Mitchell, Cooper Perney, and Aaron Schmidt. Our next team through the gate, we've got our Giants, sponsored by Trinity Subsurface. Head coach Robert Page, assistant coaches Jason Sheehan, Jim Jeffords, and Jordan Grosh. And our players. They better hustle like that during the season, boys. Anthony Bizarro, Connor Cintron, Parker Grosh, Evan Hiller, James Jeffers, Ellison Kuiper, Christopher Masker, John Page, Ethan Pennypacker, Jeremy Sheehan, and Daniel Verano. Up next, we've got our Nationals, sponsored by Keen Compressed Gas. Your head coach, Brian Galbraith. Your assistant coaches, Jason Zambotti and Matthew McNulty. And our players, Michael Casale, Tyler Clark, Cooper Galbraith, Mason Jackson, Alexander Klink, George McNulty, Charlie Persky, Jack Ryan, Sean Siemanowski, Joseph Toner, and Jacob Zambotti. Nikki, do you have a roster? Again, coaches, please don't forget to hand your rosters to Ed Doyle so that we can have the list of names and sponsors. Coming onto the field now, we've got our Rays, sponsored by Crowley Wealth Management. Head coach, Nikki Botsford. Assistant coaches, John Coleman, Mike Smith, and Tim Ferry. And your players, Andrew Bender, Casey Botsford, Ethan Brick, David Burrows, Wesley Camp, Benjamin Coleman, Timothy Ferry, Jonathan Gallagher, Hunter Harnos, Cole Johnson, Austin Smith, and Nathan Smith. Red Sox, hold up. Hold up, boys. Go back to home plate. No stealing allowed. No leads, no steals. All right, so I got a fill here. I've never seen a group of 8-year-olds who listen that well. I mean, credit where credit's due, right? They're coached very well. Speaking of which, the Red Sox, sponsored by LMT Commercial Realty. Your head coach, Joseph Latina. Your assistant coaches, Bernie DeMarco, Eric Marks, and Thomas Cochran. Leading us out, we've got Grady Brodman, Theodore Chacon, Thomas Cochran, Dominic DeMarco, Riley Evelyn, Caden Gordon, Logan Latina, Ethan Lucas, Dylan Marks, Gabriel Morris, Gavin Orsetti, and Michael Tribuani. And that, my friends, is our 8U Farm League.
Up next, we have 8U softball. First team, Team Blevins. Head coach, Jason Blevins. Assistant coaches, John Clark, Tom Lupinski, and Paula Peckin. And the players, Francesca Alvarez, Grace Bennett, Violet Blevins, Emma Bolware, Caitlin Clark, Cyene DeFibo, Zoe Frenzel, Salem Claire, Kropinski, Savannah goodness.
Freddie, show him
Grace
your
Sayers,
coconut.
and Savannah Swift. I'm just gonna read them. And up next is Team Doyle, sponsored by Frasberry, with head coach Aaron Doyle, assistant coaches Ashley Coate and Mike Falkstein, and the players is Tessa Ashkavage, Lucille Boyle, Kaya Coate, Kinsley Coate, Grace Falkstein, Adeline Holly, Cadence Hughes, Gabriella Humba, Emma Kreswicki, and Parker Robinson. And up next for Team 8U is Team Holston, coached by Ryan Holston, assistant coaches Jacqueline Ferry and Joe Guinata, and your players Madeline Betty, Liliana DiCarlo, Cassidy Downing, Lily Avis, Ashlyn Ferry, Amelia Guineta, Grace Holston, Madison Leathern, Margaret Nagel, Addison Scalia, Grace Wasney, and Joanna Yeldell. And our last 8U team is Team Romanchek. Head coach Mike Romanchek, assistant coach Phil Oyerly, and the players Lillian Bianco, Charlie Bowers, Natalie Herrick, Lydia Moore, Allison Oyerly, Juliana Prokop, Jayliana Rojas, Emerson Rolfe, Elizabeth Romanchek, Kylie Romanchek, and Amelia Townsend.
All right, guys, next up onto the field, we've got Farm 7U. Our first team, the Diamondbacks, sponsored by Starrett Design Builders. Head coach, Nick Maida. Assistant coaches, Brett Creasy and Sean, your name is cut off, Monahan. I could have read that if it was all on one page. And your players, Rocklyn Allen, Sayer Bickford, Austin Creasy, Liam Harris, Benjamin Costas, August Lafferty, Dominic Maida, Cole Monahan, Krishna Patel, Caleb Perry Woodcock, Cameron Stock, and Bronson Townsend. Your Guardians, sponsored by Al's Sporting Goods. Head coach Mark Phelps, assistant coaches Chris Vanderslice and Matthew Tucci. We've got Jamison Baker, Connell Chambers, Gage DeMarco, Graham Foreman, Brooks Hillman, Celestine Joffret, Chloe Lyons, Gian Mohajer, Carter Novello, Owen Phelps, Owen Tucci, Owen Vanderslice, and Anthony Vole. Up, we got an 8U coming up. So Farm 8U for those of you playing at home. We've also got the Royals for Farm 8U. Delaware Orthopedic Specialists are our sponsor. Your head coach, Joseph Durney. Your assistant coaches, Jeffrey Grigner and Matthew Delacave. And our players, Ansel Block, Kenneth Connor III, Luke Delacave, Henry DeWitt, Jake Durney, Christian Granberry, Drew Gribner, Carter Hadley, Jackson Hadley, Drew Hockrow, Justin Hudson, Ryan Martin, and Connor Selecki. All right, going back to Farm 7U, we've got our Astros, sponsored by the Blue Knight Protection Group. Head coach Matt Robinson, assistants Cecilia Ash, Jonathan Barnhart, and Rob Fleck. And our players, Oliver Ash, Cody Barnhart, Bentley Correa, Andrew Fleck, Wesley Giblin, Daniel Halberd, Sullivan Haycock, Patrick Keating, George LaRock V, Mason LaRue, Owen McAndrew, Declan Robinson, and Caleb Woodward. I give you the Farm 7U players.
All right, last but not least, our 6U softball players. 6U known as the Bulls. We have Nick Cryer, head coach, Adam Borowski, the assistant coach, and our players, Audrey Beatty, Allison Botsford, Anastasia Borowski, Mackenzie Cryer, Natalie Matasu, Adeline Morano, Grace Mangini, Colette McNulty, Penelope Meadows, and Emma Pierce.
Tim, they're gonna come up right now.
And last but certainly not least, Team Lipinski, with head coach Tom Lipinski, assistant coach Ben Alexander, and our players, Elizabeth Alexander, Anna Burrows, Ava Herrick, Kennedy Leathering, Riley Lipinski, Olivia Pepe, Maxwell Quinn, Hannah Reynolds, Phoebe Richwine, Lizzie Stiddick, Grace Thorpe.
Well, this is fun.
I just can't get past doing all the scenery because of the other one. I know, but it's in my car. I already got it. I'll get it to you, I promise. You want to sip your water for now?
What happened to Bo and Jack?
Huh?
Love you.
Well, that's why they have problems.
All right, we've only got a couple more to do, I promise. All right, let's move along before we all get soaking wet here even more. So, we got T-Ball 6U, the Red Bat, sponsored by RS Widows and Sons Incorporated. Your head coach, Robert Page. Your assistant coaches, Chance Malkin, Jordan Grosh, and Joshua Barnhart. Your players are Shane Barnhart, Desmond Clark, Sebastian Cuba, Beckett Grosh, Jordan Kinderman, Landon Malkin, Quincy McIntosh, Gabriel Miller, Gavin Nares,
Don't get your hands wet. Ready?
Someone that should come to work in the States.
Jack, you want this chair?
cranking the speakers of the car and then calling the phone so that like it would come out of the car speakers.
So that's always our last voice to show.
But also a little rain doesn't hurt anybody. It's not like it's cold. Mom, do we know what color they would be?
I think Jack was light blue.
Okay. So
And
far
Bo, I'm not sure if he was orange or.
we had red and dark blue go out.
Bo might be red.
Yeah, no, did you see it?
Why are we introduced? Scorpion?
Yay!
No premature news, Mom.
Adam. Hey, Adam. Adam.
Adam! 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 I think Diana left.
Both of them? Oh, man. Dad thinks that was Jack's team.
Well, we need Adam with the list. Here's Adam.
Adam.
Adam with the list.
Oh boy.
Come on, Adam.
Alright, can you all hear me?
Yes!
Better than when I was yelling?
Yeah!
Alright. Just think, the team that I coach, they get that on a steady basis. Just yelling, yelling, yelling.
Oh, man.
Who's up next?
Six.
And who we have up next? Mr. Doyle. Who do we have up next? The Rockhounds? Alright, you guys, back to this. We got the Rockhounds. And we've got... Yeah, let's do that, because I don't have a sponsor. Piedmont, we are professional grade. Alright, we're back on track here. We've got the Rockhounds, sponsored by Alpine and Ravetto Orthodontics, with your coaches John DeLucia and Kevin McCaffrey, and our players Lucas Alvarez, Matthew Bieber, Nolan Carney, Oliver Ciccione, Gabriel Cobb, Holden DeLuca, Shay Josie, Aiden Lightheit, Aiden Light-Winak, Spencer Mako, Nolan McCaffrey, and Benjamin Walton. The Tin Hats. We've got the Tin Cap, sponsored by Saginaw Day Camp, with our coaches Gregory Matthews, Steve Curtis, and William Jeffy. Your players, Chase Curtis, Tyler DeLonzo, Thomas Jeffy, Brady Mathias, Liam Matthews, Brody Misha, Noah Maurer, Kevin O'Neill, Cooper Pecorella, Joseph Piccolini III, Carter Schulach, Jack Talley, and Garrett Zubato. All right, we've got your Blue Rock, sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods. Head coach Tyler Boyer. Your assistant coaches Andrew Farrell, Austin Conrad, and William Benke. Your players, Dylan Abbott, Jack Benke, Carl Delos III, Lily Farrell, Liam Gallagher, Joseph Gitana, Diuta, James Costas, Cecilia Maida, Lauren Shears, Sutton Smith, Noel Stock, and Julia Thompson.
Go, Jack!
Lining up next, we've got our Grizzlies, sponsored by Kirkwood Auto Center. Your coaches Andrew Mercoria and Mike Gregors.
They did it already. They were yelling down there. Like,
Shane Downey, Parker Ferguson, Nolan Gregor, Emma Irwin, Owen Mercoria, Drew Pearson, Austin Stapin, Norris Witkowski, Logan Turner, Andrew Bull, Eric Waxersham, and Eric Warner, and Courtney Wickersham. The Emerald.
how were you? Did you have fun? Do you see Bo and Jack out there?
When life gives you lemons, just make lemonade, right?
Look for them.
We've got the Emerald, sponsored by Paul Campanella's Auto and Tire
They're out
Center.
there.
With coaches Charles DeSimone, David Delabuano, and Rob Fleck. We've got Andrew Delabuano, Charles DeSimone Jr., Addison Fleck, Declan Fuentes, Hudson Harlow, Oliver Leahy, Shane
I don't know. I'm thinking
McKehan,
like they got to be going or like right by the library sign. Maybe to go a
Noah
little bit up.
Pennypacker, Angelo Proto,
They go out to the
Bo
road and come back
Wolf,
in. So I
and
think
Carson Schultz.
what are their colors? Bo is that red team center, and Jack is a light blue. Jack's over there.
Is this Bambino, Ed?
Where'd you guys park? Here.
Grasshopper.
I might go Friday with you guys. Alright. Buddy, do you want to go home with them?
We've got the Grasshopper, sponsored by D. Bat Neward.
I know, but Mommy's gotta go
Andrew
now
Levin,
take all the
and
team
assistant
pictures.
coach Nick Benke.
And guess what? I
Your
have
players,
Matt.
Cole Benke,
Yay!
Cameron Bigner, Vincent Pizarro, Colt
Maddie has a bunch of
Eichinger,
candy at home, and I have
Walter
something
Holt,
to tape.
Vincenzo
Yeah, I have an
Lancelotti,
iPad there. Okay?
James Levin,
Would that be good?
Leah Levin, John Mentz,
No, I think when it's
Maxwell
time, no, I'd like
McCloskey,
to have
William McDoul,
the stroller, pushing the stroller.
Knox Slocum, and Nolan Thomas.
I need to get that jogger stroller from Allie back. Yeah. Yeah, I'm staying with you.
Wow, I think I need glasses because I can't read the team name from here.
You want my umbrella back?
Our next team
I have his rain jacket and everything. It's fine for now.
are the
We'll
Bandits.
wait till it's free. Alright, go
The
with your stroller. I'll
Bandits,
give you an iPad.
sponsored by Ritos of Ahokassin. your head coach, Stephen Beaver, your
I got my
assistant
phone.
coach,
It connects to my phone
David
now.
Delabuono, and Matthew Tucci. Your carriers, Andrew Beaver, Seamus Delabuono, Bryce Feely, Oliver Fuentes, Matthew Jones, Elizabeth McNulty, Jimmy Mike Isaac Novello, Luke Palmer, Grayson Pierce, Tyler Sutton, Jax Tukey, and Paul Miller.
Hey, pick something out.
So horse watching is on, so we'll get back to that. We've got the Bulls, sponsored by Representative Mike Smith. Your head coach, Adam Gines. Your assistant coaches, Anthony Brown and Nicholas Wilson. Your players, Bear Baker, Jacoby Brown,
For both teams.
Joseph
He was the
Chambers,
assistant last year, too.
Noah Hartwell,
No.
Cameron Freitkat, Luke Gines,
Oh, no, Jill, I
Aiden
just got your
Lynch.
text messages.
George
Oh, that's
McKenzie,
alright.
Theodore Myers, William Monahan, Hudson Patterson, Case Picorola,
Jill, we got hash browns all done
Paparella,
for Dunkin' if you want.
Henry Wilson. And to anybody whose name that I butchered today, I sincerely apologize. You can email me. That's fine. All right, you guys. Thank you for putting up with this. This is your 2023 Piedmont baseball and softball coaches and players. The rain does not get them done. All right, Piedmont families, we've got a couple special guests who are going to come and address the crowd. First up, our county executive, Mr. Matt Myers. Good afternoon, Piedmont! Good afternoon, Piedmont! It's opening day, a beautiful day for sunny baseball. Thank you so much to the leadership of Piedmont. Let's give a big round of applause to the commissioners, the board, all the adults that made things happen today. And the parents, thank you so much. Have a great season. Stay safe and get money. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, the county councilwoman from District 3, Councilwoman Janet Kilpatrick.
Happy opening day. When I look up on the hills, what do I see? Newcastle County Mounted. They came to honor you today. Good luck to every team out there. Have a great season. And now Representative
Like
Mike
right there,
Smith.
Bob. I could like throw a rock.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm not going to yell at you as loud as our county executive did. Good to see everybody today. Today's going about as well as we thought it would, right? Nice and rainy, exactly how opening day should. Kids throwing themselves in the mud to kick off the season. I love it. Hey guys, you're going to have such a fun season. Enjoy your teammates, enjoy the process, enjoy your coaches. Listen, play hard. Have a great season, everybody. See you on the ball field.
Oh, short and sweet. How can you not love these three? All right. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. So we have a very special guest coming up. The Piedmont community is proud to welcome one of our own to lead us in the singing of our national anthem. Among her many accomplishments, she has performed at the White House for the President of the United States, at Madison Square Garden, in Cooperstown for Tommy Lasorda's Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremony. She's a Manhattan School of Music President's Award Scholar and has spent the last 5 years as a private vocal teacher and touring Europe as a vocalist with Richie Blackmore's Rainbow. How many of those kids know who Rainbow is? However, she's best known as the New York Yankees' good luck charm for her rendition of our national anthem at the final game of the 1996 World Series. As an 8-year-old, she had the distinction of being the youngest national anthem soloist in World Series history. And last but certainly not least, she's a proud Piedmont team parent. Please welcome Piedmont's own Christina Hurst as she leads us in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare above bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Oh my gosh, if you did not have chills after that, that was fantastic. All right, you guys. Did we get our picture? Do we know if we got the picture? Greg?
What is this one?
No? I don't know. All right, so there is more fun, games, activities, food, most importantly, over on the Swift Fields. All right, so now our teams are going to lead us in a 2023 opening day parade led by Newcastle County's own Mounted Patrol. So if our teams want to start progressing off the field and lining up behind the horses, we are going to parade our way back to Swift Fields to enjoy the rest of this day. Hopefully the sun will keep on breaking out from behind these clouds. Make you forget about how wet we are. Everybody, thank you so much. Thank you to all of our special guests. Thank you to all the parents, players, families. Without you, none of this is possible. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. And go Piedmont!